Guys, today we have the beautiful reason why Joe Burrow deserves all the love in the world. And that's because we're breaking down the offensive line play in the other night's game versus the Cowboys. Okay? And this was an interesting game. Orlando Brown was out, so that meant Cordell Volson got his job back at left guard. And Cody Ford played left tackle. Right tackle was Amarius Mims. Right guard was Alex Kappa. And center was Teddy K. Now, in this type of situation, listen, I know the Cowboys do have a good defensive line. I was kind of hoping that we would see Teddy K move to left guard, move our center to being Matt Lee, who we drafted, and then or put Matt Lee at left tackle, where he has been this year, and he's actually been very successful. There's different strategies, but they went with, F it, we're going to go with Cody Ford. And that seems to be the problem this year. So, first play of the game. Let's go ahead, and it's a screen pass. Screen passes, we don't really care about offensive line play. Plays happen way too fast on screen passes, and in all honesty, blocking assignments, I'm not going to go too far into that. We don't call it too many screens in this game anyway, so it actually works out pretty well. So on the second play here, we are going to go ahead and run a play action play here. So pretty much everyone is going this way. And this is where you want the defense to all be focused on. You can see the responsibility right here, and what's going to get blown up right there is actually, let me select a different color here because I don't really like the purple here. But the biggest responsibility is going to be right here on your screen. So everything is going this way. Cody Ford's job is to block him. Well, Cody Ford, like you're going to see most of this game, doesn't. Guy peels off real quickly. Joe rolls out to his left-hand side and does... Actually, this might be a screen pass. You know what? Maybe I take back the Cody Ford comment. What it looked like was... This looked like a play-action play where... Typically, Baltimore likes to run this as well, where you play action here, and then you go for more of a sales concept. So this is... Or not... This wouldn't be more of a sales concept, but this is kind of the idea. Joe rolls out. He can run up the middle. He can run down the field. If he likes the one-on-one, he takes that, or he takes the drag across the middle. It looks more like an actual... The way they're blocking like that, it looks more like a screen pass. So looking back at it, I would say back-to-back screens to start off the game, which is kind of crazy, but yeah. And even to Cody Ford's point, his job actually, it looks like a screen pass. It looks like a screen pass completely. So I'm going to give Cody Ford absolute, I'm not even going to give him crap for that one. It looked like we did have a screen pass there. So now it's third down and long. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. Drew Sample is the 6th offensive lineman blocking. And then we have another tight end in the backfield in Tanner Hudson. Now, if you look at the box, right, this is what you always got to look at here. Okay, so how many guys you got in the box? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then technically 7 off the edge. So you got 7 guys. This is what you would assume. Now, some of these guys are going to drop, right? Some of these guys are going to drop into coverage, but you got to assume, for the most part, if you're a quarterback here, that this is what you're looking at. So Joe knows on this play, third down and long, they potentially are bringing the heat. Now, what's very possible is we see something like this, where this guy is going to go out in the flat over here. The angle is not the greatest. He's going to drop back, and we're just going to see a typical 4-man pass rush, right? But Joe has to take in consideration what's possible. I'm about to absolutely get mollywopped. So you got, here we go. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick up him. And then he's an extra blocker to help out this. But then you also going to have a free pass rush off the edge. Now, in the end, everyone blitzes but this guy right here. So, looking at it pre-play, this is the only guy who isn't going to blitz. So, they brought the house on this play. All of these guys blitz Joe. So that's a total of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. We have 5 linemen. We have 2 extra blockers in here. Now, a lot of time what we like to do with our tight ends, especially because, again, we love utilizing 2 tight ends, is we like to do tight end release plays. Block release plays, excuse me. So a block release play is like this. You roll out. Your job is to chip him off the block. You're not going to block him as in sit there and hold him and, block him like a typical blocker. Your job is to go over here, chip him, right? Make it easier for Amarius Mims to pick him up. And now you're going to go out to the flat and you're going to be a wide open wide receiver. So that's what we like to do a lot. It's a typical Zach Taylor offensive play call. And then just it being incomplete pass intended for T. Higgins. All right, next drive. Starting off the game. Do not like to see starting off 0-3. 3 and out. But listen, at the end of the day, 2 screen passes, a pass play. It was a nothing burger. They brought a blitz on the pass play. Next play later, on the next drive later, we run the ball first play. Looks like you got yourself a beautiful hole. This is going to be your biggest issue going into this situation. But what happened many times this year is the offensive line. And actually, not even the offensive line fought. So the guy who's going to be stopping this play is right here. So it's actually the guy who is unblocked because everyone else has their guy. You have a double team here. He's waiting to see if, Chase Brown cuts back. So it ends up being that the untouched guy right there, he's going to come in, he's going to make the play, he's going to wrap up, and he's actually going to make a pretty good play on Chase Brown, which is not always the easiest. Next play later, it's going to be a flag, false start. Actually, no, I think it was defensive penalty there. All right, so let's get this angle, and let's go ahead and look at this. So we already know that Kappa did not have the best night. And can we say hands to the face, by the way? Look at that. That's 15-yard penalty right there. All right. Cody Ford has his guy. Everyone has their guy here, except for we're going to see Kappa get pushed back. Hands to the face, by the way. But Kappa does recover very well. Keeps that pocket, for Joe. Joe is going to wait. He's going to try to roll out. Cody Ford ends up getting beat and losing his guy, which, let's be honest, by the time when you hold the ball as long on this play as Joe has held the ball, 100% this sack or hit right here is on Joe. You held the ball way too long. Somebody has to get open faster than this. You can't hold the ball this long or else you're going to get hit every single time. And that's just the God's honest truth. I love Joe, but this is a play where you got to get the ball out quickly. He does. He ends up getting a completion here to Chase Brown. Ends up working out very well, ironically enough. But that is a play where you just got to, figure things out there. Hold the ball way too long, get absolutely smashed on the play. Next play later, we run a run play here with Jamar Chase. And honestly, he outruns them. I mean, you had 2 guys right here, 1 blocker, 2 guys, 1 cup here, and it didn't work out. Obviously, Cordell Volson trying to block in the second level. You got really these 2 guys who are only guys going to be able to get him. Great blocking right here by T. Higgins. Does a really great job of just shutting down that left-hand side, getting even more yards. Again, love to see it. So far, I mean, you've seen many times. It's absolute monster. Yeah, so this would be called for a holding call. I think it's a very blatant holding call on Amarius Mims. Listen, Amarius Mims is a rookie, right? And he got absolutely mollywopped on this play. It ended up being a screen pass in the end, but it is what it is. Wait, did they not call that? Wait, no. They called that. They just didn't show it. Okay, because now we're back at the 45-yard line. So yeah, it is what it is. It was a blatant holding call. I will say, surprisingly enough, obviously, as always, Chase Brown does a great job of finding the hole. But obviously, like always with offensive linemen, it feels like the hole collapses within seconds. So it's not like it really helps out too much. Now we're in a third down long scenario, and we have to throw the ball. Let me do this. So you have two guys now. Why does this keep doing this? You have two guys now on Micah Parsons on the right-hand side here. You got one. He's in limbo. He's one. You got a pocket. Okay. What are we going to see here? Who's going to get beat? Kappa. So, guy gets straight through Kappa. Gets straight to my quarterback. And Joe ends up taking a sack on the play. I will give the credit. I feel like with this play, we should have had a double team right here. Again, you don't expect Kappa to just get ran through like a drive-through worker here, but it is what it is. He got ran through. Guy gets right to quarterback Joe. Joe ends up getting sacked on the play, and it's a bad play altogether. Next play later, block. He's in limbo, kind of watching the guy right there. We got that. We got two guys rushing, and then we have a guy who's looping. So this is just an all-around mess type of play, which you don't love to see. We'll see, though. And it's a pass to the left-hand side to Chase. And you can see also Chase brought on that play. Actually, pretty good blocking assignments there. Next play later, and Joe learned, I think, early in this game, you got to get the ball out quick. You got to get the ball out quick. You got to get out of your hands. It doesn't matter. You can't sit back there and just take all day to throw the ball because your line is not going to give you all day. Now, so far, this line's actually playing pretty damn good for all things being considered, right? Joe throws it. You can see right here, Volson, and this happens all night, by the way. Volson is getting pushed back into Joe. And that's something that the Cowboys defensive line was able to do the whole night, which was pretty much grab us and push us back, push our offensive lineman back into Joe consistently. There was zero actual grip on offensive line on the ground. They just could not get any type of leverage, and it was really the biggest issue. Now, right here, you're going to see we have a loop right here, but for the most part, everyone has their guy. You would like to see the awareness of maybe Amarius Mims dropping over here and getting him, but Amarius Mims does have to watch him as well because he's going against a tight end. But you can see from his head, I think, and I might be incorrect, it looks like he is looking at him, though. So, good eye, good awareness. And, yep, Amarius Mims, look at that. Sees that. He does the loop. Bastone quickly. Ends up being an incomplete pass on the play. But Amarius Mims is able to chip the guy enough that it's not like Joe can get that ball off, right? And sometimes the lineman, if you can't stop the guy, if you can chip him enough to, do something, that works out pretty well. Something, again, we have seen so far this game is this looping technique. So pretty much, if we go back to the beginning of the play, right? The idea is you're going to have two guys go like this. Then the other guy's going to go like this. So it's a little bit of a loop around. And again, just something they tried out all night long. And between pushing our offensive linemen back and being able to loop them, works out very well. So right here, Amarius Mims on Micah Parsons is ironically enough because looking at the game tape, even with TJ Watt, Amarius Mims has not been that bad against TJ Watt, but against Micah Parsons in this game, he held him so much this game. It was absolutely insane how much. Joe has to throw the ball on the run, finds T. Higgins on the play. Great play made down the field and moving the chains. Next play later, we have a run play up the middle. Obviously, Chase Brown is sniffing right here. I mean, this is pay dirt. Your line blocks for you, but you can see this guy is the biggest X factor. Now, if Chase tries to roll it to the outside, that's this guy's problem. So these are your two biggest issues, right? As long as Kappa can hold his guy, he holds his guy, and he holds his guy, you got yourself a free walk-in touchdown. Obviously, that's not how life works, and players get beat, and especially with all offensive linemen, happens more often than not. Next play later, Joe does go ahead and throw the ball. This is why Chase Brown is so important. A lot of people do not understand, outside of his play, which I love about Chase Brown, he has great play, it's also his ability to pass block. Again, it's something that not enough people talk about. It's why he's on this team, and it's why he's very successful on this team. He will always get snaps, and he will always play over majority of the people in this team because of the fact he can pass block. So what he does in this play, Cody Ford is going to get beat, okay, 100%. But Chase Brown understands that. So Chase Brown's job is to go over here and just chip him. Okay, your job isn't to block him 100%. It isn't to hold him. It isn't to try to... Your job is to slow him down and give Cody Ford the advantage, right? That's the whole point of this play. Just give the offensive lineman a tad bit of an advantage. Exactly what he does. Pass is thrown. Chase catches it, chases in, touchdown, Bengals. And we make a great play right there, and absolute amazing. So next drive later, we're starting off on our own 4-yard line. Very difficult situation to start in, right? Especially against the Cowboys defensive line. They have a very good defensive line. We run the ball. Okay, so I don't know why Lordy. They're not giving me top-down angle because of the situation. So I'm going to have to kind of go off this, which I don't really love as much. But you can see right here, again, Micah Parsons, bam, one-on-one. You got this 2v1. You got Kappa. Look at his head. Focused on this, right? This is, again, I feel like the offensive line play, the scheme got a little bit better throughout the night, I will say. Cody Ford, 1-on-155, though, still getting the job done. Passes done, passes completed. Now you're out of a tricky situation, right? Now you're out of a sticky situation inside your own red zone. So that works out pretty well. This is going to be I want to say a counter. It's not a counter. You're going to see the tight end's going to come over here. He's going to block him. You want him to get his guy. And the idea is if you could have a little sneaky play like that, that's what you want to see. You got a double team here. You got one-on-one here. You got one-on-one here. You want to see that little sneak out. Now, again, you need your lineman to block long enough in order for that to happen. Hasn't happened many times this year. This is Khalil Herbert. No, this is... was that Chase Brown or? I think that's Chase Brown. Never mind. Okay, I thought that was Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert does have some runs in this game. Play action pass here. Joe is looking. Again, we got a double team over here. We got, Teddy K in kind of limbo. His job is just kind of, maintain that circle right there. One-on-one here, one-on-one here. Joe has the time. Look at that pocket. That pocket is gorgeous. Has the time, finds Jamar Chase. Give him time, let him eat. Line actually looks pretty damn good so far. The grades were horrific. I mean, if we're being honest, it actually looks pretty good. Screen pass right here. And that's Khalil Herbert, by the way, on the screen pass. Good play right there. Next play later, we gave a ran play to Khalil Herbert. Now, this situation, not really the greatest for Khalil Herbert here. In all honesty, the best situation for him is probably to bounce to the outside, because you have that. And what's going to end up happening is this guy right here isn't going to be able to get you, because he's going to get picked up, and it's going to be all this commotion, which is going to create this little layer here, right? He's going to be your biggest issue. So let's see what Khalil Herbert does. He runs right into his own lineman. All right, well, what you don't want to do is run into your own damn lineman, okay? That's probably not a good thing to do. On this play, Cody Ford, he's getting beat by Micah Parsons. He's trying to push him back. And same thing over here with Amarius Mims, which you want to see Joe here step up in the pocket. Problem is, right here. This is the issue that happens. Usually in this situation, your guards are going to at least hold your guy. And it looks like, by the way, a double team on the play. And it ends up being a double team on the play on both sides. But it ends up failing. Now, Joe is Joe about this, okay? What he's seeing is this. He is seeing this beautiful green grass right here. And he knows that the pocket is collapsing now. The pocket's collapsing. You see the beautiful green grass. You take off running through that beautiful green grass. But you always got to keep your eyes downfield. And I know it's hard to see on the screen right here, but this is what he's looking at. Joe, looking down the field, says, I can put the ball right there. This guy's not going to get there. The defender's behind him. If I just run right now, I get 2 yards maybe. Joe looking. He throws, and he incomplete pass. Yoshi drops it. Next play later. Again, Cody Ford getting beat on the play. Micah Parsons getting on the inside of Amarius Mims. You got 2 guys, 2 tight ends blocking out here. Actually, no, this is a running back and a tight end. You got one-on-one. This is just a mess, right? So Joe is like, hey, hold up. I just did this, right? I just did this same concept a play ago. So let me think about how I'm going to do this again. Joe looks, rolls out, throws, caught, T. Higgins, right? Joe's like, hey, I just did that exact same play. This is pretty easy, you know? My pocket collapses. You're going to give me that little hole right there. I'm going to keep taking that. And that's what something Lamar Jackson does very well as well. And he does it very well against pretty much every team in the NFL. You give him that little hole, he's going to take it. Right here, Amarius Mims gets absolutely demolished by Micah Parsons. You got a one-on-one right here, one-on-one run here. And now Amarius Mims is why, again, listen. When we went into the last NFL draft, there was some talk about J.C. Latham out of Bama, right? That was a guy that we talked about potentially going for. The problem with him was he is strictly a right tackle because he does not have the athleticism to play left side. He can only play right side, period, end of story. Amarius Mims, the reason why we took him, well, one of the reasons, is because even though he is a big guy, he is humongous, right? He's a mammoth of a player. He does have very good athleticism, and he's able to recover a lot better than someone like J.C. Latham because he's able to use his athleticism as an ability to help out. This is exactly what happens. You're going one-on-one with a pass rusher of Micah Parsons' caliber. You're not going to win every single time. You're going to get beat as a rookie, but the question is, how do you recover? And he recovers very well. Pushes Micah out of the way, lets Joe be able to throw the ball, and it ends up being incomplete pass on 4th down. It sucks, it does, but guess what? That play, underrated by Amarius Mims, he recovered very well. That was a bad throw by Joe. It wasn't a bad throw. It was a bad play call altogether. But still, that was a great play by Amarius Mims. Next play later, stops. Okay, you block your guy. You got everyone. You have this like little wall right here, right? So there's 2 options. One, you could trust this, right? And if you can try to sneak out here. Now you know, number 2 here, right? Over here, number 2. He's going to be a problem for you, right? You know that if you're Chase Brown on this play. You know number 2 is going to be a problem. He is your guy you have to beat to get to the second level. Every time you run the ball, you have one guy who is the guy you have to beat to get to the second level. Number 2 is that guy for Chase Brown right here, right? So Chase is going to roll out to the left-hand side. In the end here, you like to see, guy block this. But he ends up trying to block number 2, which allows this guy to be wide open for the tackle. Chase puts a move on him, and he ends up tackling him. On this type of play, you would like to see the number 85 here. Yeah, you like to see Cam Grandy, I believe that is. You like to see him pick up the first guy. I understand the point is he was trying to pick up the guy in the second level. Listen, that's great. We love that. We love to see you trying to think down the field and think off your toes here. But guess what? You pick up 99, Chase Brown's going to get at least 5 or 6 yards on the play and not set up a situation where it's a long third down. So, love to see your, you out-thinking yourself there, but I think you overthought that situation, Cam. Lineman. Got it. Look at that pocket. Perfect pocket. Joe throws it. Delivers a pass right to T. Higgins. I believe he caught that ball. All right, next play later. Look at this. This is when you got to start doing this again. This left-hand side was becoming a little bit of a problem. We have a double team on Micah Parsons. That's why I've said so many times I want Micah Parsons. Look at that. Double team on Micah. Still gets right through both of our guys. Absolutely gets right through our guys. So now we have an extra chip-off block for Tanner Hudson here, over here on 55. But again, we tried double-teaming Micah. Micah gets straight through the B gap, excuse me. Joe goes, hey, I've seen this show before. I subscribed to this show before. Has that time, has that energy, takes off running, outruns Micah Parsons, throws it down the field, finds Yoshi, plays extended, plays down the field. But a lot of people, starting off last year, a lot of people were like, Joe's calf strain is, Joe just sucks. It's not his calf strain, he sucks. His calf strain being hurt and him not being able to be mobile, people don't realize how mobile Joe Burrow truly is. People think that Joe is not as mobile as he is. He is one of the most mobile quarterbacks outside of like the Lamar Jacksons of the world. He is very, very mobile. And when he has a calf strain, that destroys him. So, next play later is going to look at this. We hit it with a play action. The whole defense buys on that play action, which gives double team here, right? Joe's going to roll out. He's going to hit it down the field here. So let's see. Looks down the field. Eyes down the field. Pass thrown. Caught. Jamar Chase first down. Great play right there. Great play call and great play right there. This is going to be a screen pass. Wide receiver screen pass. Ends up not really going anywhere, but it is what it is. This is the touchdown to Chase Brown. Look at this. Again, quick pass. Caught Chase Brown. Stays in bounds, gets a touchdown. Which at first was questionable, apparently, but thankfully that was called a touchdown in the end. All right, next drive. Well, next time we had the ball, I will say. Okay. One-on-one here. One-on-one. He's in La La Land. He's one-on-one. Okay, let's see how this breaks down. And kind of Micah Parsons beating Cody Ford. Gets the inside leverage. You can't let the inside leverage happen, my guy. And, of course, it ends up being completion here to Jamar Chase. But Cody Ford let Micah Parsons get the inside leverage. Listen, it's Micah Parsons. I get it. But you can't let him get the inside leverage on you, buddy. That's the number one way you're going to lose. Let the guy get the inside on you. You can't let him get the inside on you. You got to keep him on the outside and kind of create that pocket by moving him around. You see, Amari Mims does it a lot this game. Obviously, Cody Ford has done it before too. You want to be able to recover, and you're not going to recover if you give the inside. You want to give the outside and push him around like a circle. Next play, excuse me. Pocket looking good. You see that? That's a good pocket right there. That's clean pocket. Pass thrown. Caught. Yoshi. Play made. Good job. Next play later. Again, you see right here, we have a chip off right here, right? This gives, our boy Cody Ford here more time to, get the leverage on Micah Parsons. You got the pocket, right? And bam, ball is thrown. Ball is down the field. Great play. And again, look at this. This is Chase Brown, okay? First off, again, running back. Second year, sophomore running back. going against a premier pass rusher and blocking and doing a pretty damn good job of slowing him down, giving Joe that pocket he needs. Again, just great. I can't stress enough how much I love Chase Brown. Chase Brown's an absolute tank. And again, the reason why I talk too much about him, people don't give him enough credit. They really don't. Whenever you're talking about great running backs in the NFL, no one brings him up. And I think it's stupid. Anyway, Micah gets the inside. He's going to get right to your quarterback if you give him the inside. Gives him the inside. Pass gets thrown quickly because of that. Off the hands of Chase, incomplete. Maybe if you don't give him the inside, you give some more time and it works out a lot better. But anyway, though, 1-on-1. This ends up being a screen pass here, which actually turns into a good play by Chase Brown, in all honesty. And by the way, something you never want to see, Joe was about to be the lead block. You never want to see Joe Burrow as your lead blocker. I don't care what your scenario is. That is a death sentence to anything that you could imagine is happy. Double team right here. Double team right here. Double team right here. 1-on-1 right here. Joe has that pocket. Give him that pocket and let him eat. Joe throws the ball, and it is incomplete intended for Chase. Overthrown on the play. Just a rare overthrow by Joe Burrow. Next drive later. 1-on-1 matchup. 1-on-1 matchup. You got this blanket wall right here. Joe has time. He has the receiver right here. Where he's going to hit? He ends up actually going the opposite and down the field to Chase. Great play. This is going to be a run play right here. That's why I love Chase Brown as always. Because, again, you run... Okay, let me try to stop this correctly here. So, he runs the left-hand side, right? And, again, it's the vision. I love. He knows this is going to be 1-on-1, 1-on-1, right? So, he has two options here. Option 1. This is option 1. Option 2 is cut back here. Option 3 is stop right here and then go like that. And what is he going to do? Option 3. Actually, let me make sure I'm correct on that. Yep, option 3. Cut back, go up the middle, get like 5 or 6 yards. Instead of getting maybe 2 or 3 yards, your line's not going to block long enough. They're going to let the guy through. Give you more time to throw the ball. Next play, hike it. Bam. He's going to throw it. Joe's going to see this right here. Absolutely get Jamar Chase freaking cooked. But 1-on-1, 1-on-1, 2-on-1, 1-on-1. Joe also, if he wanted to, could do that. But, hey, listen. Joe gets Jamar Chase cooked on the play. Finds Jamar Chase on that play. Next play later. Kappa is going to get absolutely demolished. Joe has to run for his life on this play because Kappa got demolished on the play. So this is the problem with one offensive lineman messing up and getting beat on the play, right? Is now going to cause a whole slew of issues. Because now Joe is going to have to roll out to here, right? Well, he can't. That's Micah Parsons right there. So Joe is rolling out to a Micah Parsons sack sandwich. Now, obviously, Micah, not having the best night in this game, is not able to get Joe on the ground. Joe outruns him. Joe ends up throwing the ball away, living to play another down, right? Right here, Cody Ford's going to get the leverage. He doesn't get the inside, so he keeps the outside. 1-on-1 with Micah Parsons here. Joe, again, I'm guaranteeing you he's thinking, like, hey, I have that right there if I need it. But the pocket doesn't collapse fast enough. So he's like, I don't need that safety valve unless I want the safety valve. Throws the ball on the outside, gets Jamar Chase, gets the first down, moves the chains, and great play right there. Again, I'm going to guess Chase is going to cut back here. Are we going to cut back, Chase? Yeah, of course you are, buddy. You are so freaking good. We have looked at so many running backs on this channel, I feel like. And there's so many running backs who don't do the simple fundamentals like that. So, this one ends up just being a thrown to the ground because of no one was open. Next play later, we have a pass down the field. Again, one-on-one. I think this is the interception, I believe. I mean, Joe has time, and I'm going to guess that this is where he's looking. Right? I would take a guess. No. Just a weird throw. Okay. Not what I expected, but okay. I mean, I knew what was going to happen, and I still didn't know really truly what to expect there. All right. Next drive later. Bam. Bam. Eyes looking down the field. Has time. Throws the ball. Completion. First down. Great play right there, boys. Next play later. Okay, let me stop it right there. Okay. 101, 101, 101, 101. Pocket. Again, it's not rocket science. You give Joe time to throw the ball. The guy's going to eat. Right? Okay, what's going on here? Is it like a weird angle? Okay, the angles are weird. Alright, let's get forward then. I don't know what's going on there. Angles are weird. Next play. Right here, we have a free pass rusher at Joe, and that is, of course, Micah Parsons. You don't like to see that. Joe gets hit on the play, but he does find a completion and moves it and helps to get down the field. Next play later. Why did Amarius Mims let Micah Parsons just go? I guess the reason why is because he thinks Kappa's gonna hold Micah. Okay, that was a weird idea. Run play here. Pretty simple. Alright, we're getting near the end of the game here. And I do want to talk about the blocked punt. Because that's another thing I do want to break down here. Because obviously, you know, very important play. 2-2. Joe all day to throw it. Joe looks, throws, bam. Alright. So, let's go. We have 2 drives left. We'll go through the last 2 drives here. I know this video is a little longer. Whenever I do film breakdown, it does get a little bit longer, obviously. But you hike the ball, okay? Run the ball up the middle. Obviously, your one guy to beat is here. No one's blocking him. So at this point, you know you just got to get as many yards as you can. And that's pretty much that. There's nothing else you can do there if you're Chase Brown. Just get as many yards as you can humanly possibly get. And that's going to work. That's all you can do right there. All right, so Joe throws the ball again. Pocket good. Love to see it. Again, the second half, I feel like the offensive line got a lot better. Even better than the first half when it comes to offensive line play. Now, I'm going to say that as right here we do a toss play and that gets blown up. I'm going to say that, but then I know moving forward we're going to have a couple of sacks that happen on Joe, which you hate to see. Again, so this one is a quick pass to the right-hand side. Just a screen pass. Ends up being incomplete pass in the end. They thought it was a fumble at first. It wasn't. Right here, though, Joe is going to get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-man pass rush. How is someone not open? Joe takes off, fumbles the ball, almost gets sacked on the play. I don't know how someone isn't open on the 6-man pass rush, but you know, I'm apparently I don't understand a lot of things here. So right here, what's going to happen is 58 is going to try to do a loop around blitz. So this is going to kind of be like a wall. He's going to go around. Cordell Volson's not going to see him coming for some reason. Joe does a really good job of, again, as always, cutting back here. He sees that Cody Ford's losing his guy on Micah Parsons. So Joe, as we have talked about all video so far, is going to go for that run straight through that hole. He does it, looks downfield, completes it to Jamar Chase, moves the chains, right? Next play later. Again, I think Joe has learned, especially this late in the game, you gotta throw the ball quick because Micah is gonna beat Cody Ford consistently off this left-hand side. By the way, hands to the face. That's 15 yards right there. That's at 15 yards every single day. Not called. That's the second time today, actually. Not called. All right, next play later. Micah goes on the inside. Kappa, useless Kappa, freaking lets Micah straight to the quarterback. And we try to shut it down. Ends up being incomplete pass. Penalty on us, surprisingly enough. Next play later, it's a run play up the middle. Chase tries to make the most of it, but it's not really going to go anywhere. It was just not. It was a failure play to begin with. This it ends up being a... No. This is the next play. We run a screen pass to Chase. That ends up being a penalty. So then we try to just run around. We get a holding call in this play. And yeah. That's a great play. And then it all leads up to the 4th down and long. Actually, no, not the 4th down long. We just throw the ball here. And then this is the 3rd down and long. Excuse me. This is the 3rd down and long because the holding gave us a second play. So, right here, free pass rusher. We try to call a screen pass. It looks like it was just ugly. It was just ugly. And then this happens. So, the purpose of this play, by the way, Moma Jagmita is the one who recovers the ball. And he does a great job of recovering this ball. I give him all the credit in the world. I love him, right? But he's the reason why I got blocked. I know. You can make a great play and also mess up at the same time. And that's exactly what happened. So you see him right here. You see Moma Jagmita right here. Watch him right here. His job is to block 41, okay? He falls to the ground by accident. He slips and falls, and 41 gets past him. That's why the punt is blocked. Because Moma Jagmita does not block 41. He fails. He gets beat on blocking number 41. So while, yes, that was a great play he made on special teams here, and he won us this game in theory, because we would have lost this game if not, he should no longer be on special teams. I love him, right? Okay, let me not be that serious. He should no longer be a blocker on special teams. I think he could still be a gunner. He could still go down the field and make a play. But as a blocker, I don't know if I 100% would feel comfortable with him as a blocker, to be honest. But as a defensive player, I think yes. Please put him more on defense, Lou. Give him time on defense, and that's what I want to see more than anything. I want him to get some actual snaps on defense. The fact he's not is utterly disgusting. Anyway, we run the ball up the middle for Chase Brown, get a first down. And again, just great hard runner. I think Pat McAfee talked about that. He's just a good hard runner in general. But this pass is obviously the game-winning touchdown. Joe, look at that pocket. You got to keep him clean. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one.